Back with us now, former acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf. Chad, it's good to see you again. Chad, what did you make of this story when you heard about it, that Senator Lankford, he's a member of Senate Homeland Security, he's saying that Homeland Security Mayorkas, he wants to get information on why Mayorkas is again secretly expanding DHS authority across several Homeland Security sub-agencies to do censorship and monitor disinformation on the internet. What's going on here?
Well, I think the senator's got some legitimate concerns here that DHS Secretary Mayorkas needs to really come clean about. Obviously, what we know that, DHS has always looked at foreign interference when we look at cyber attacks, and those are from foreign adversaries. But what appears to be happening from some of the reporting that we see here is that DHS is now interested in domestic issues, such as racial justice. I think they talk about the origins of COVID, the efficacy of the COVID vaccines and things of that nature. So we're no longer talking about foreign interference. We're now talking about domestic issues. And I think that's what's concerning to a lot of Americans. If you're going to have DHS and a federal agency to say, hey, what is the truth and what is not the truth? And we get very close to First Amendment protected issues and freedom of speech. And I think that's the most concerning thing that we see here.
Yeah, when you talk about to your point, Chad, about the pandemic, people were railroaded into thinking the vaccines were totally safe. It was about informed consent. And now you have Pfizer and Moderna doing clinical tests about the side effects, including damage to the heart from vaccines. You know what I mean? And also, Vanity Fair just did an explosive expose showing that the pandemic likely did leak out of the Wuhan lab, based on based on the Intercept's reporting of what was archived on the internet of what the Chinese were saying to each other. So this is weird mission creep. And so the American people is supposed to be kept in the dark by what Mayorkas thinks is, the truth ministry. You know what I mean?
Well, I think this is the concerning part. The American people are not dumb. They can weigh both sides of the issue. They should be presented both sides facts, and they can decide for themselves. But to have a government agency to say, no, this is what is truthful and this is what is not, based on some criteria that's unknown to the American people that they are deciding on, perhaps because it fits a narrative that they want, that is what's at issue here. And so we need to have, obviously, that open press so that they can certainly report on various sides of a particular issue and let the American people decide what they believe is the truth or not, but not to have a government agency, particularly here in the domestic arena, saying and putting their thumb on the truth scale there.
So the other thing too is why is Mayorkas doing this? He faces possible impeachment. Even the Inspector General for Homeland Security said there is no need for any disinformation board to exist at all. We're spending tens of billions of dollars, taxpayers are, on public affairs offices in each agency. And now he needs another disinformation board. It seems like a total waste of money, and it feels like the American people they're trying to keep him in the dark. We get it about we get it about bad information on the internet. We get it about social media. You know what fixes bad information on social media? More information. Not censorship.
Right. That's right. And I think, the DHS was caught, several months ago about this disinformation board, and at the end of the day had to disband it because not only were they getting criticism, obviously, from the right, but also from the left, because I think the left also saw that this wasn't needed. This has gone beyond the mission of DHS and what they do every day to protect the homeland. And so when you see that disinformation board dissolve, but yet you still see the department undertaking these types of events, and you're saying to yourself, well, maybe they're still doing it without the board in the name. And I think that is, again, what is the concerning part and deserves some oversight.
Chad, final question. Why is he monitoring the botched information about the botched withdrawal by the Biden White House from Afghanistan and now aid to Ukraine to battle Russia? Why is Mayorkas monitoring that?
It's bizarre. Yeah, it's bizarre. He needs to be questioned about that. Why is it that is somehow dangerous to Americans to understand why we withdraw from Afghanistan or aid to Ukraine and in what capacity? Okay. So I think he needs to be held accountable to that.
Got it. Chad Wolf, always a pleasure having you on. Thanks for joining us. Okay, we're staying.